Hey, what's up, guys? This is Omar Veluz. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I am here to teach you all how to do a Instagram artwork post where it splits your artwork into each picture, but there are videos. So you're able to implant a music video or a web series within. So it's great for people with content, with longer content that wants to display it on their main Instagram page. You could use the artwork for your film, the artwork for your episodes, the artwork for your music video, and cut it up in a way that it shows the whole artwork. And once it gets clicked, it's actually a video hidden within. So I've been doing that, and people have been asking me how I do it. And I cannot say it's easy. It's actually, there's multiple steps. You need multiple programs. You're going to need After Effects for what we do here with the audio visualizer for music videos or for music. You're going to need Photoshop, and you're also going to need movie editing software. I like to use iMovie. It is limiting, especially with a new one that came out. I don't know. I don't have like the latest software, but back in the day, like 8 years ago, the iMovie was way better. It had a lot more flexibility. The one I use now, not so much, but you have to be creative to make things happen, and sometimes simple projects make it that much cooler. So this overall is kind of simple, but I am going to ask you guys, though, to do one thing before we get started, and that is to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. So I'm sharing one of my secrets with you. So just go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm working on my followers. I haven't necessarily taken Instagram that seriously, but I do post, and I'm really trying to, get the good word out there with my art. And I am a musician, and currently I'm on the Dance Club Billboard charts. Yay! I am top 35, well, amongst the top 35, and we're still working really hard to kind of keep climbing up. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Follow me on YouTube, check out my music videos, and follow me here on Instagram. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And yeah, that's it. All right, guys, good luck. Hey guys, what's up? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Remember, so we are going to do this Instagram post, which is a grid but it's made of videos, and within the video there's a visualizer, an audio visualizer. So the concept of it is pretty simple. But there are some major steps to take, and there are 3 programs we need to use: Photoshop, After Effects for the visualizer, which we're going to make a green screen visualizer, and then iMovie, which kind of puts it all together before we upload it to Instagram. So there are many steps to do, and you have to use a computer. I don't think there's an app for it to do it this way. So this one I did, and it's really cool because it takes it to the next level. So it actually, after I did the visualizer video, I went ahead and I superimposed a dancer over it. So you could do that here too, as long as you have a moment where and it'll make more sense a little later. As long as you have a moment where this square image you could select as your cover image, then you should be fine. So you could, do it throughout, or you could just, flash that image at the end of that 1-minute video on Instagram, and you could go ahead and put that as your cover artwork. So you could piece it together and create this grid photo. Cool. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first program that we need to use is Photoshop. Awesome. And let's open this up again. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do one of these grids, but it's going to be a 2x3, right? So we're not going to do the 3x3. We're just going to do 2 rows, 3 columns. So in Photoshop, I'm going to open Photoshop, and I'm going to file new. And then here on new, I'm going to change this to inches. And I'm going to make this 6 by 4. Right? Because there's going to be 3 blocks across, 6, and then 2 on top of each other. So that's 4. If you make each square 1 inch each, it would end up looking, it would be a 3 by 2, right? And then the resolution would be 300. So it's up to you if you want each square to be a 1 by 1 or a 2 by 2. I like 2 by 2 I just do. Cool. So here's your canvas that you just opened, right? You just did a new, and then you want to make sure that your rulers are on, which are up here. And for any reason these increments are kind of weird, you could just go ahead and right click it and make sure they're selected on inches. And then I'm going to click on the ruler and I'm going to drag it over and start placing these lines. So I already did. So these are my grid lines. So I broke this canvas up in 2, 4, 6. So each square of these are a 2 by 2, right? 2 by 2. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and pick my image. And this isn't a Photoshop tutorial, so I'm just gonna, assume that you know how to use a little bit of Photoshop. So just, import an image into, this canvas, and there it is. And then you're gonna go ahead and decorate that image however you want, and that's how I did it. So I'm really excited that we're going to do a John Espy remix video because he is the drummist for the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. So Ronnie Winter is my friend, and he connected me with John Espy, telling me that he does some amazing remixes. So I'm really excited to release that new remix that I have of his onto Instagram with this video. And if you don't know, I think I already mentioned it, Send Me an Angel, which is my latest remix, that is on the Billboard chart, and it's really exciting. So yeah, so here we go. So it's Omar Veluz music, and what I probably want to add here is just one last thing. Probably just make sure that people know it's Send Me an Angel. All right, so that's what it's gonna be. So I am gonna go ahead and flatten all of this. So once I flatten it, I'll be able to take each square and save it as its own image. So I'm just gonna highlight all these, go Control E, that's all flattened. Okay, so now next part could go pretty quick, also pretty slow depending on how fast you are. I like to learn my key commands, which make this part much quicker. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start saving each square. So I'm going to go Control Copy, Control New, Enter, Control Paste, Control Save. Then here I'm going to open, let's see, so I'm going to go to my desktop, right? So on my desktop, I'm going to create a new folder. I'm just going to call it Send Me an Angel, John Espy, Instagram, video, right? I just abbreviated everything. Instagram video. So this is the first image. I'm going to make sure that it's JPEG, and I'm just going to call it image 1. And then save, right? So that's 1. And then we're going to go ahead and do this 6 times. Going to go ahead and name that 6. And then make sure that it's JPEG. And we're done with Photoshop, guys. That's it. That's all we have to do on Photoshop. So you could close this. I'll just minimize it for now. We got all the images. So let's double check. So I went to that folder and I'm just opening them up in preview to make sure that they're all squares, right? So we just want to make sure that we did it right, because then to fix it, we have to do all of those steps over again, and we don't want to do that. So they all look like squares. I think we're good to go. So we could close that, and now our After Effects is open. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to create a visualizer, and we're going to kind of go pretty quick, right? So I'm just opening it up. I'm going to do new composition, and then in the new composition, let's do this, right? So here on the time duration, this is very important. So we might as well just go find the audio that we're going to use and make sure that that time is equal to the time of the audio. There's 2 ways to do it. You could do it now right away, or I'll also show you a way to do it. You could get started, and then you could once you import the song, you could go ahead and do it that way too. And because right now I would have to go through my iTunes and stuff, so I'm just gonna cancel that. File, new project, and here we are. So now we're gonna go File, Import File. So find your song, whichever one you want, find your song, and I want this one, and I'm going to go Open. So it's going to import it here into my project area. Now, to do the visualizer, I'm going to need 2 solids, right? You're like, what are solids? So 2 solids, one is where the visualizer is going to live within, and then the other one is going to be the background for the green screen. So I'm going to go ahead and just go File, Import, and just say Solid. And this one, let's do a green, right? So this will be our green screen, just do green, and then I could just label it green screen, right? Like I said, this isn't a detailed tutorial on how to do this. I'm just kind of going over the steps. So make sure that, your dimensions, your ratios are good to go. Click OK. So now I have a solid. Now I need another solid because that's my background solid. Now I need an import solid. And this is going to be my visualizer solid because it needs to live. The visualizer needs to live with something, and it's living with a solid in this program. So let's do a gray, whatever, gray solid. This is for visualizer. You don't have to visualizer. I don't know how to spell, guys. So visualizer. Okay, cool. So they just do it gray. It doesn't really matter. This one doesn't matter. I just didn't want to get confused. So now I'm going to go ahead and drop my green screen down here, which will be my background. Now remember how I said at the time? This is the time. So I'm going to go ahead and look here at the audio and look how much time so this is 5 minutes, 39 seconds. So a lot of the time here, the time frame is going to be like at 3 minutes because it's going to take over from the last project you worked on. So you want to change that. To change that, you're going to need to click here in this area, your working area, go to composition and go to composition settings. Here in composition settings, you could change the duration down here. I already have mine at 540 because it's 5:39:27. So you need to change yours. If this isn't equal to your song, you need to change yours. So change yours. I changed mine at 540 because it's close to 540. Just click OK. This will then change and you'll have a 540 minute composition here at the bottom. Cool. So now I have my solid right here, my gray solid, which is going to be for my visualizer. So I'm going to drop that on top of my green screen. And then I am going to drop my audio, my MP3, below that. So it's going to be below those two, right? I'm going to select my gray visualizer, and I'm going to go to Effects. I'm going to click Effects, and I'm going to go to Generate. From Generate, I'm going to go to Audio Spectrum. Okay, now this here, you see that this is going to be the waves, right? You need to allocate where that sound is going to come from. So here in your panel on the side, right, your projects panel, you're going to then on audio layer, you're going to select the song, and it should appear because it's in your projects. So if I scroll through, I see there's movement. Cool. So that's connected now. That song is connected. So this is very important, audio layer. Now you could go ahead and play around with that wave. So with the colors, with the shape. And you just go from here, start frequency, and you just start working your way down. And here you just scroll side to side, see what you like. So this is start frequency and frequency bands. I like them, like a ton of them. I like a ton of them. Maximum height, I kind of like it nice and tall. You could play around. You're like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. I like that. Let's do more. Audio duration. It's completely up to you what you do here, right? The cool part here too is you could select the colors. So here, I like, don't do green because it's going to disappear once we import it. The inside color, I'm going to do, a blue or an orange. Let's do an orange. And then the outside color, let's do a red, right? More like fire or something like that. So that's what it is. Don't use a green because it'll disappear with a green screen once we do the green screen when we superimpose it. So there you have it. There's your visualizer, right? So then now what's going to happen though, because remember on Instagram, there's square pictures, we have to make sure that this visualizer is going to live within the square picture. Since I'm using iMovie, I really can't manipulate the green screen. So I'm already thinking ahead and I'm just going to downsize this. So I'm going to click it, grab this, and just make it smaller. I use shift so it kind of keeps, I think it keeps its proportions if I use shift. So I click on it and then I just place it kind of eyeballing it where I want it to be, right? So I'm figuring, yeah, that'll fit within a square. That's cool. And I could size it a little bit and in iMovie, but I can't really like manipulate the exact placement of it. So that's the only bummer there, but you'll get the hang of it and so forth. So There you have it, guys. There's our visualizer, and it's on a green screen. Push the rewind if you need to, do this over and over again and follow the steps. So then now here, I'm going to go composition. I am going to add this to render queue. Add it to your render queue. Then down here, it goes to your render queue, right? Output to not yet selected. Let's go ahead and select that. And let's just go ahead and put all of this in that folder that we created on our desktop. Remember, I created the Send Me an Angel. So those are all the images that I have. I'm going to do the green screen visualizer. Is do JFC visualizer so we don't, so we kind of like keep everything order. And let's go ahead and let's render that. So save and then render. You're going to click render, and it's going to render in that folder. So just wait a few moments. It does take a little while sometimes for this to do it. It goes frame by frame. You're going to have that amazing visualizer that you'll be able to superimpose your image, and it just makes your that grid, that Instagram grid, just that much cooler. All right, guys, we're back. So if you go to your folder where you dropped it off, you should have your visualizer there. Bam, there it is. And now we're going to be able to construct that in our iMovie, right? So now you're going to go to your iMovie and you have all the pieces that you need. The first thing that we need to do is we need to import our music. So you could either do file, import media. I like to just drag and drop. So let's go ahead and do it this old school slow style, and drag and drop my song. So let's go back to Send Me an Angel. I know that it's in the masters, and we're doing the Ronnie, we're going to do the John Espy MP3. The wave files, those are cool for for club plays, but for Instagram, I think you'll be fine with an MP3. So let's go ahead and drop that in there. Okay, so now what we have to do is, again, look at the time. So it's 5 minutes and 39 seconds. So we have to split up all the images to match that time. So we have 6 images. So let's go ahead and drop them in, and then we are going to need to figure out how long each image needs to last so it could take up the whole song, because that's the purpose of what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to put on an entire song on Instagram in a creative way so our followers could listen to it in pieces, and then they could decide to go to YouTube and listen to the whole song or the music video or whatever you have. So here are our songs. Let's go ahead and change that kern, or that burn, that can burn. I don't like that can burn, so just select them all and just do fit, right? So there we have it. We have the squares. It's 5 minutes and 39 seconds, so let's go ahead and figure out how many seconds each one needs to be. So I go to my calculator, and I am going to multiply 5 times 60 plus 39 equals 339. Divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5650. So we're probably safe if we make each duration 57 seconds, and then the last one will probably be a little shy, which is fine. So here we go. We have all our image, and what we're missing here is our visualizer. This is my visualizer. So just drag and drop your visualizer on top, right? So great. So now that I have the visualizer, all I have to do is turn that into a green screen, picture-in-picture, green screen, and there you have it. Now, my visualizer looks a little puny. I'm going to change it a little bit. So I'm just going to crop it, make it just a little bit bigger. See what happens. Try to center it. I think that's the center. And there we go. I like that. Keeps things entertaining, right? Wish it was a little higher. Let's see if we could, what can we do to make it a little higher? So if we make it bigger, it gets higher, but then it's gonna fall off the edges. We'll see. So you just want to play with it. Like I said, it's a little limiting. That's cool. I like that way better. All right. So there you go. There's my visualizer. There's my movie. Let's push play. It should work. There we go. Cool. So So let's go ahead and let's export this video, and then we are ready to start uploading it onto Instagram. And for that, we're gonna switch over to our phones. So I'm just gonna go ahead. All this looks good. This is one straight video all the way to the end. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go File, save this file. I'm gonna call this Send Me an Angel, John Espy, video visualizer, right? And then let's do the same thing here. Here, let's use the highest. So for some reason, that's good. I like that. I don't like a huge. I don't like to be living necessarily in the gigabyte section. Not for Instagram. It takes up too much computer space. So let's do that. And let's just save it. So let's go to our desktop, to that folder that we had created. Visualizer, Send Me an Angel for Instagram. I just like to make sure that I label them correctly so I don't get confused later. So save. So let's go ahead and let's wait for that to upload. Or for it to download, for it to generate that video. And once it's done, we're going to upload it onto our iCloud. All right, guys, so here goes the last and final step of uploading this PhotoGrid, which is actually a video on Instagram. So this is what we've created, right? So we created our grid, our images, which is all one video, and we're going to upload it in sections so we are able to create this photo grid of the visualizer. Don't forget, follow me here on Instagram. I'm Omar Veluz Music. So here we go. So let's go ahead and let's make sure that we have that video here on our file. So I went ahead and I did iCloud, so it shows up on my files on my phone. So I'm just going to go ahead and save the video. So it will save it into my wheelhouse, or whatever it's called here, of photos. So it's down there. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and let's go to Instagram. I'm not going to upload it. I'm just going to show you the steps. I'm not ready to upload another video. I just uploaded this one. So essentially what you want to do is you're going to start at the end and you're going to work your way across, right? So that's how we built our video on iMovie, remember? So let's pretend that we're going to do our first one. Here's our video, right? So we already have it selected. We want to make sure that it covers the whole thing because we already made it square. Let's go ahead and push next. To save you time, you don't do any filters on it. Or you should have already done the color correction on the iMovie or whatever. So don't do it there, okay? That way it saves you time and you're able to rapidly upload them. On trim, you want to trim it for that 1 minute, remember? So we're going to start backwards. This is our whole video, right? This is our whole video pieced, right? So all the way to the end. So here on the trim, I'm going to use this, and in the beginning part, right when that last pic starts, so that's the last picture, I wanted to trim it there, and then it's just going to go all the way to the end. So I'm going to push done. Then before you just go ahead and go click, sometimes in this one, it doesn't matter. You could use, because it's just a visualizer, it all stays the same. But if you're doing like a video, like I did, like if you superimpose another video, like a green screen dancer, you want to select exactly where in the video you want it. You need to include this square at one point in that section, at least a glimpse of it. But imagine if this was a video, right? A video, an episode, and then at the end, the final credits for this 1 minute, it's just a glimpse of this image that you need to use as a cover artwork. So that's what you need to choose. Then we're going to go next. So now we have that bit, right? It's ready to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and push here, and I'm just going to go copy paste. All that's already done. What I want to write, all my hashtags. I'm not going to tag anybody yet, not location yet, because I just want to make sure that it rapidly goes on. I have it. I wouldn't recommend posting it on your Facebook and stuff because it's not going to be the same way. We're just constructing it for Instagram, so do not do the Facebook option down here. Just do it for Instagram and just go ahead and push share. You're going to do that same exact process for each one of these. All right, guys, so that was it. So I hope you made it through all the way. If there's any sections that you're still confused about, just go ahead and push the rewind button and watch that section again. I know I was a little quick. However, I think I went over every step that you're going to need. If you have any questions or comments, comment below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I hope you had as much fun learning this new technique on posting videos for your music videos, for your episodics, for your films. Click on the links below and check out all my music. Like I said, it's been a dream come true to get on the Billboard chart. I hope to see all of you guys on there as well. So let's go ahead and work hard. Best of luck, guys, and I will see you guys next time.